Guam. KUAM News headlines are presented by Calvo's Insurance, protecting Micronesia for 85 years. Matson and the Adahi Itano program. Apply at matson.com. Cars Plus, Guam's automotive leader in sustainability and electric vehicles. Learn more at carsplusguam.com. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurant, serving your local breakfast, lunch, and dinner favorites for over 45 years. Starting now on KUAM News Primetime.
Ahead on KUAM News Primetime, the Public Defender Service Corporation asking the community for help in identifying a man believed to have broken into its facilities Tuesday morning. And this afternoon, a public hearing was held on a referendum that will put the power in the voters' hands when it comes to reproductive rights. Ernesto Locanto has more.
Unscheduled sirens going off earlier today in Agad were not part of an emergency. But what may be a cause for alarm is that those sirens were part of only 4 of Guam's 21 sirens that are fully operational. I'm Matsuki Hirayama with a report.
Hafide and good evening, Guam. Good evening, world. This is KUAM News Primetime. I'm Jason Salas.
And I'm Destiny Cruz. Thank you so much for making us a part of your day.
Well, in our top story tonight, more witnesses came out to testify in the second day in the trial of murder defendant Nathan Ojeda.
One of the witnesses, a responder from the Guam Fire Department, testified seeing a bullet at the scene after carrying out the shooting victim. Here's Julian Hernandez with more.
Trial continued for murder defendant Nathan Ojeda, appearing before presiding judge Alberto Lamarena earlier today. Ojeda is accused of shooting Anthony A.J. Mendiola in front of Mendiola's home in the southern village of Haguet. He has since denied the allegations against him. Guam Fire Department firefighter Andrew Escamilla was an EMT at the time and was one of the responders who treated Mendiola at the scene. He describes the scene as emotionally charged, and Mendiola was already lying on the ground bleeding, but conscious.
We got down with our trauma kit. We approached the person, saw that he was awake and in distress. There was another gentleman applying pressure over an injury. We couldn't see what it was because the patient was still wearing a shirt, so we cut the shirt to get better visuals.
And so you cut the shirt off?
Yes, sir.
And what did you see?
I can't recall once again with absolute, I don't have perfect recall, but I do. There was an injury on the abdomen. When we rolled him over, there was also an injury on the back.
When Escamilla and his team lifted Mendiola, that's when Escamilla said he saw a bullet.
Not immediately. It's not something, I don't know if I'm able to expand like this, but I didn't notice anything until we actually removed him or put him onto the gurney.
And what did you see?
There was a bullet on the ground.
Okay. And was it where was it on the ground?
It was where he was laying, around his torso. I wouldn't be able to say exactly in proportion to his body, but.
So you would have been, so it was under his body?
Yes, it would have been under where he was.
As we reported, Mendiola was shot in front of his home in Haguet on January 4th. Ojeda contends that he was initially the target in the shooting, but witnesses told police Ojeda pulled the trigger first. Trial continues tomorrow with more witnesses and officers, with the Guam Police Department expected to take the stand. Julian Hernandez, KUAM News.
All right, Jules, thanks so much. Well, unfortunately, there is yet another break-in into a facility in your government. This time, vandals evidently targeted the Public Defender Service Corporation.
And it's an issue that the folks at the Public Defender say is an issue nationwide, not just in Guam. An institution tasked with defending the accused, the Public Defender Service Corporation finding itself in need of defense Tuesday, following an early morning break-in to its facilities.
It's kind of ironic, right? We represent many people charged with crimes, so we're hoping like no one would burglarize our office, but clearly anyone on Guam, is a potential victim of crime.
But despite Executive Director at the Public Defender Stephen Hattori's hopes, the Sinahanya office falling victim to a breach sometime between 1 and 3 a.m. The alleged perpetrator thought to have entered the building utilizing a back door. Guam PDSC Administrative Director Kathy Gogui on the aftermath the following day.
When the employees came in yesterday morning, some of them found their desks ruffled up, drawers open, and one of the attorneys, their office was broken into. The desk was broken into. They took a cash box for that included money for the employees' associations.
While inside, the alleged culprit eating some food left in the office and pocketing about $700.
A bulk of that money came from the employees' association.
And it was odd because, there were more pricier electronics that were available, but they were not taken. It would seem like the individual was concentrating more on food. There was food taken, so it was someone who obviously has food security issues
or needed food.
Yeah, and money, really.
Security cameras capturing this man in a white baseball cap and a long sleeve shirt on the morning of the burglary.
We did reach out to the mayor to let him know that we were burglarized, and he did mention that the individual is a resident of Sinohanya.
Gogui telling KUAM that information was given to Guam police, coinciding with the report following the burglary. Now the folks with the public defender are hoping GPD investigates, leading to a possible arrest to be followed by the perpetrator going through the judicial system.
We represent these clients who are alleged to have perpetrated or burglarized residents, and we believe that it's not just a Guam problem, it's a national problem. So we're hoping that, we have a social worker here on our team that helps our clients get back into the community, integrate back into the community. So that's what we want to do, is how can we help folks who need the help.
Guam's Attorney General Doug Moylan extending his support.
A crime against the public defender is a crime against everybody in this community. They offer an invaluable service, a necessary service that's protected by the U.S. Constitution, especially probably for whoever's breaking into them, that if they can't afford an attorney, the public defender is there to help them.
The AG urging whoever is responsible to turn themselves in. Meantime, GPD spokesperson Officer Berlin Savella confirming with KUAM that the investigation into the break-in is active.
A woman convicted of stealing over $50,000 in SNAP benefits will serve 8 months in federal prison. Eugenia Palomo Lane appeared before Chief Judge Francis Tedinko Gatewood in the District Court of Guam in Hagåtña earlier today. The 39-year-old admitted to claiming $56,000 in benefits from the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, commonly known as food stamps, and leading the illegal scheme for the past 7 years. Tedinko Gatewood sentenced Lane to 8 months with 3 months' time already served before sentencing. Lane tearfully read her apology letter admitting her guilty and taking full responsibility for her actions, blaming herself.
Now, Lane's legal counsel, Leilani Lujan, asked the court that she only serve 10 months because Lane's turbulent life growing up, which included abuse and drug addiction, were involved. She also asked the judge to include drug treatment. Yet prosecuting attorney Benjamin Petersburg said her scheme had been going on for 7 years and money did not go to the people who needed it the most, namely her children. Lane was also given 3 years of supervised release and will be sent to a federal facility off island.
Well, where do the people of Guam stand on the very divisive issue of abortion?
That is precisely what a bill by Senator Tom Fisher seeks to answer, as it calls for a simple up or down vote by way of a voter referendum. Esther Lecanto explains in this next story.
The heading of the legislation spells out clearly its intent to provide Guam voters the power to decide on reproductive rights, a highly controversial issue that's divided the country for the last 50 years since the Supreme Court legalized nationwide abortion in the Roe v. Wade decision of 1973. The High Court, of course, has since reversed that landmark decision last June, ruling that the abortion rights question rests with each individual state and territory. A local law was passed in 1990 restricting abortion, but opponents won a permanent injunction so it could not be enforced. But with the Supreme Court reversal of Roe v. Wade, Attorney General Douglas Moylan filed a successful motion to lift the injunction, and now that case is currently under appeal. That brings us to Senator Tom Fisher's bill, which calls for, among other things, a voter referendum to decide the issue. The familiar arguments pro and con were delivered once again during the public hearing on the measure.
The language on the bill under legislature findings and intent state that abortion services are essential health care and access to those services is central to people's ability to participate equally in the economic and social life of the territory. That is an insult to all the women who have chosen to have children and continue to work and take care of both their jobs, their children, and households. You diminish the strength and intelligence and hard work of working mothers and stay-at-home mothers.
Abortion is healthcare, and access to this healthcare actually saves lives. And not just the life of the pregnant person, but we have to consider the challenges that an unwanted child experiences throughout their lifetime.
Unlike other medical procedures, abortion implicates fetal life in addition to the patient's health. Abortion is a unique act because it terminates life or potential life. Abortion is inherently different from other medical procedures because no other procedure involves the purposeful termination of a potential life, end quote. That's from the Ninth Circuit judges.
The power to decide on reproductive rights is an issue about the fundamental human right to bodily autonomy and equitable health care. Putting these rights in the hands of voters is an irresponsible act. Access to these human rights should not be dependent on the votes of the majority, votes that realistically are susceptible to be guided by a limited understanding of an extremely nuanced issue and personal values that should only dictate the life choices of the individual that holds them. These are rights that are entitled to all people and rights that our government should protect.
The Fisher bill also lifts any requirements or restrictions that might impede a patient's right to an abortion. It would also require the AG to bring a civil suit against any government official that tries to limit a patient's right to an abortion. The committee actually took concurrent testimony on a similar bill by Senator Will Parkinson that would legalize abortion outright. Nestor Lecanto, KUAM News.
Also heard today was the bill to require hospital emergency rooms to provide rape victims with information and access to contraceptive pills. Sponsor Senator Will Parkinson says 22 states have such laws on the books, and he believes Guam should follow suit. Testifying in support of the measure was Bureau of Women's Affairs Director Jane Flores.
This bill deals with keeping emergency contraception available for rape survivors free of charge, an absolute necessity here on our island. In 2022, the Guam Police Department recorded 240 cases of criminal sexual conduct. Minors, those under the age of 18, constituted 82.5% of the victims in those cases. Let me repeat that percentage. 82.5% of the criminal sexual conduct cases recorded last year by the Guam Police Department involved victims who were minors.
But Agnes White, a longtime registered nurse and a member of the Archdiocese Pro-Life Committee, says not all rape victims may want to terminate their pregnancies, and she told the story of one woman she listened to during a religious retreat.
We had a participant who had been raped as a young woman in the States, and she had been in torment for over 30 years because after her rape, she was given this pill. Had she conceived, she would have wanted to keep this child, but she wasn't given that choice. In the emergency room, boom, take this pill. Your bill states that giving this pill is standard procedure. And you talk about giving the woman information. When you've been raped, you can't even process what happened.
However, in a statement, Senator Parkinson says access to emergency contraception can be crucial for women and girls who have experienced sexual assault, as it can help prevent unintended pregnancies and reduce the need for abortion.
Also tonight, it's an end to alternating schedules for 2 northern elementary schools, as the students up at Upi Elementary are slated to return to their home campuses on September 18th for in-person instruction 5 days a week. Now, the move follows a short stint over at DL Perez Elementary School, serving as a host campus for both school populations.
In a release coming out of the Guam Department of Education, UES Principal Julie K. Solis thanks several people and organizations for helping to get the Tut-Tuts back on their school grounds. KUAM reached out to GDOE spokesperson Michelle Franquez for more information about what exactly prompted the reopening of UPI.
Island Utilities news now is not only is the Cabras 2 baseload generator down again just after 3 days, but 2 other Guam Power Authority units are now offline as well. According to a release from GPA, Cabras 2's boiler tube leak was repaired this past weekend, but it's now experiencing generator issues, and the Metetsi and Dedido 1 combustion turbines are likewise undergoing emergency repairs.
As a result, GPA says the potential load shedding schedule released September 8 remains in effect. Meanwhile, large power customers such as hotels, the airport, the commercial port, and the military are helping out by voluntarily leaving the grid and utilizing their own generators.
Let's take you to southern Guam for this next story, as earlier this morning, emergency sirens went off at the Agate Marina and Agate Senior Citizen Center. Guam Homeland Security and the Office of Civil Defense says it was unscheduled and went off, as they say, Destiny, inadvertently.
That's right. It's a concern as last month, just 4 of Guam's 21 sirens were fully operational, and these 2 sirens were part of the 4. Mitsuki Hirayama has more.
You shouldn't be too alarmed about the emergency sirens going off unscheduled at the Hoggett Senior Citizen Center and Marina today. Guam Homeland Security and Office of Civil Defense spokesperson Jenna Blah says the sirens went off inadvertently. Perhaps you should be alarmed that September is National Preparedness Month, which aims to prepare families for natural disasters and emergencies that can happen anytime and anywhere. And in an interview with KUAM a month ago, Blah said following the wrath of Typhoon Mawar, just 4 of the 21 all hazards alert warning system sirens were fully operational.
Unfortunately, only 4 of them are currently fully operational. The rest, there are some issues. Either they only sound off the siren or only sound off the text tone or the verbiage. So we're working through those different issues, and that's why it's really important that we test these on a monthly basis.
The 4 working sirens included the pair that went off accidentally today in Hoggett. Blah says it's unknown today how many sirens are working, as they are still being assessed at this time. In last month's interview, Bloss had said her office is working on procurement to fix the sirens, though she was unable to give a timeline or how much the repairs would cost.
Not at this time. We look forward to the updates throughout the rest of this month.
KUAM reached out to GHS OCD on what's causing the delay. Mitsuki Hirayama, KUAM News.
Now, before our newscast, Blah said her office is seeking funding to repair and potentially upgrade the 2 decades-old sirens through FEMA Public Assistance and the Hazard Mitigation Grant Program. She also adds the sirens are just one form of redundant communication with other forms of communication during an emergency, including local media, the emergency alert system, mass email, social media outlets, websites, and partner agencies. All right, college football fans. Yes, this guy, the tall dude with the lockdown here. Get ready for an exciting Big Ten matchup. Big Ten Saturday night. You hear it all the time, as South Carolina, who is on the other side of the coast, faces off against the top team in the nation. That is right, the back-to-back, hoping to go back-to-back, hoping to three-peat, Georgia Bulldogs.
Yep, that's right. On September 17th, South Carolina goes head-to-head with Georgia.
The Gamecocks of South Carolina are 1-1, with the Bulldogs undefeated at this time. Good job by Kirby Smart's squad. Tune in bright and early on 5:30 a.m. on the 17th. That is Sunday for Big Ten, only on KUAM TV 11.
For the full Big Ten game schedule and our complete football schedule lineup, head over to KUAM.com now.
Georgia is really, really good.
Ooh, okay. I'm learning everything now.
Okay, we're gonna get to our programming in just a moment, but we want to tell you, coming up on prime time, when will Guam be receiving the no COVID-19 vaccines? Nestor Lecanto will tell you, so stay tuned.
Plus, our regional correspondent Tomas Manglotnia has part 2 in his mental health series.
Okay, speaking of ongoing series, right? So on day 1 of us anchoring together, right?
Yeah.
Nick's on vacation, by the way. I saw you guys' comments and everything. Nick's on vacation. He'll be back.
You.
Okay, we're talking about football's my thing on Peacock. Peacock's got a lot of really good football games. That's my jam. You, not so much. I like scary movies. You will not touch them at all. What do you watch on Peacock so that our Venn diagrams might cross?
Kardashians. That's my favorite thing to watch. I watch it every night after the newscast.
No.
He's just being a hater. We love Peacock. It has everything for everybody.
I like stuff on Peacock. Kardashian's not one of them.
I love them.
And
All right.
that's cool. I mean, we can agree to disagree.
All right.
Tune in tomorrow because we may find like common ground between us on Peacock.
Hopefully.
Yeah, well, we'll do a watch party with you guys out there. All right, please stay tuned. There's more coming up after this.
Watch KUAM TV 8 live on Peacock. Check out our live channel, NBC shows, live sports original programming, movies, plus so much more. Visit peacocktv.com/local or download the app and subscribe today.
Honey, do you want some milk?
Do you ever wonder how your favorite products make their way into your local stores? Most arrive on state-of-the-art Matson vessels that transport containers of food, household items, equipment, and supplies into the islands every week. Because we know that you depend on us, we work closely with our partners to ensure that our shipments arrive on time, all the time, so you can find your favorite products when you need them. We transport the region's most precious cargo that supports successful businesses and promotes a better quality of life for our families. Matson is proud to have been the hometown shipping carrier for Guam, the CNMI, and Micronesia for the past 25 years, and you can count on us to be here for generations to come.
Don't need a work break, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replay, and I'll be around. Whoa. You can count on me. You can count on me for life.
Wherever life takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
Free Typhoon Mawar debris cleanup is underway by FEMA and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. Stage and sort eligible typhoon debris, including green waste, large appliances, residential construction, demolition debris, and metals as soon as possible at the residential right-of-way to take advantage of this free service. Ineligible debris will be left on site and may result in illegal dumping fines. For updated information by village, visit tinyurl.com/cleanupgu. This ad is paid for by the Office of the Governor of Guam.
I do it big. With the Pizza Hut Big Dinner Box, however you want a dinner, we got you covered. Big time. I do it big. The Big Dinner Box. 2 pizzas, breadsticks, and wings or pasta.
Oh, hello.
A surprise from Washington came from Speaker of the House Kevin McCarthy announcing today that he is ordering an inquiry into impeaching President Biden. Now, that order gives House Republicans license to investigate the commander-in-chief and Destiny, his family's business dealings.
The White House calling the move extreme politics as we're at its worst. McCarthy alleging corruption and abuse of power on the part of the president. But does he have the evidence and the votes? Garrett Hackey is in Capitol Hill.
Tonight, House Republicans ramping up their investigation into President Biden and his family. Speaker Kevin McCarthy directing 3 GOP-controlled committees to open an impeachment inquiry.
These are allegations of abuse of power, obstruction, and corruption, and they warrant further investigation by the House of Representatives.
House Republicans have alleged that the president has profited off the foreign business dealings of his son Hunter and lied about it, but have provided no direct evidence to prove those claims, which the White House has denied.
There is no evidence of wrongdoing by President Biden because President Biden didn't do anything wrong.
But Republicans believe elevating their investigations to an impeachment inquiry is necessary to overcome what they say is White House stonewalling in their various probes.
There's enough smoke, there may be a fire there. So I think this is the logical next step.
That's what leadership looks like, and it's absolutely the right thing to do.
Democrats tonight rallying to the president's defense, accusing Republicans of seeking revenge for the 2 impeachments of Donald Trump.
This is an illegitimate impeachment inquiry. Period. Full stop.
Some openly mocking the GOP effort as unserious, without evidence or a full House vote to support it.
Oh my gosh, it's devastating. Ooh, don't do it. Please don't do it. Oh no.
The CDC is recommending everyone 6 months and older get an updated COVID-19 vaccine. The agency says the updated shots from Pfizer and Moderna will be available later this week.
Here's the very latest with healthcare.
CDC Director Mandy Cohen addressed the agency's advisory panel before it weighed new data on the updated COVID-19 vaccines, which target the Omicron variant XBB.1.5.
We're in our strongest position yet to fight COVID-19, as well as flu and RSV this winter season.
On Monday, the FDA approved the updated mRNA vaccines from Pfizer and Moderna. Novavax's protein-based vaccine is currently being reviewed.
There is an urgent need for alternatives to mRNA-based vaccines, including protein-based vaccines. And so in that regard, we will review such a submission expeditiously.
While cases and hospitalizations are up, concern about the virus is down. In a new CBS News poll, just 45% of people say they are worried that they or a family member could get COVID. That's down from 77% in April of 2020. Only 43% plan to get the new booster, and those numbers vary by political affiliation. Many health experts are pushing to have the COVID vaccine considered just like every other shot and recommended every fall like the flu vaccine. Dr. William Schaffner with Vanderbilt University Medical Center says you can get the flu and COVID vaccines in one visit.
If that opportunity presents itself and you're up for it, sure, get them together. But if you get them one at a time, please make sure you come back for each of those vaccines.
Because it's the best protection for what could be a very active winter. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
Meantime, Guam will also be getting a supply of the new COVID vaccine, but no details yet on when the shipments will arrive.
Now, we did get a chance to speak with Public Health Medical Director Dr. Bob Leon Guerrero, who says unlike during the height of the pandemic, the new shots will not be free for everyone.
For public health, we're going to be getting a supply of vaccines for the Vaccine for Children, or VFC. We're going to be getting vaccines for adults who are underinsured or no insurance and qualify for a certain program. I can't remember the acronym for that. So for that population, we'll be rolling it out.
For the rest of the community, there will be a cost to get the vaccine. How much will depend on your medical insurance company. And while shots are recommended, Dr. Leon Guerrero adds that most on Guam already have a certain amount of protection.
Currently, there are people who have gotten sick, have antibodies. There's people who got vaccinated, have antibodies. So it's not a new virus per se. So people do have some form of protection against the COVID. So it's not going to be as drastic as when it first hit back in 2019.
For all intents and purposes, Guam is likely in an endemic phase, comparable to the annual flu season. Still, Dr. Leon Guerrero says not to take it too lightly.
Do I say don't worry? I never say don't worry, because we still have deaths. We had a 5-month-old just about 2-3 months ago. We had a 70-year-old. So we still have deaths with the COVID.
And the precautions are ones we're all familiar with by now.
Wear a mask if you don't want to catch it. Wash your hands. If somebody you know is sick, try to avoid them. And those that are sick, try not to come to work or go shopping at the major shopping centers. So those will help decrease the amount of infections. People just follow those simple things.
Nestor Lecanto, KUAM News.
Well, let's shift focus now to mental health, as there are guidelines for how to treat students with physical injuries on school campuses. But how about those, Destiny, experiencing mental health issues?
Well, in his next report as a Rosalind Carter Mental Health Journalism Fellow, regional correspondent Tomas Manglona examines how the NMI public school system is responding to youth mental health needs.
You cannot have academic success without students also being emotionally well.
It starts with a conversation. Dr. Bobby Cruz is the state education director for the public school system's mental health department.
The practice has been, we just don't talk about it because we're mamala, we're ashamed.
The department's federally funded program known as Project Taligi is hoping to change that for the 9,000 students on Saipan, Tinian, and Rhoda. After a pandemic and typhoons Dolphin, Sudalor, Yutu, and Mangkut, students were ripped away from the classroom and their campuses were hit hard. The mental toll is a growing concern. Josiah Kayanka manages the project's data.
Overall, we've seen a increase in anxiety within our students and even within our community members. Overall, there's just been an increase in anxiety. But one of the things that we do within this is we are constantly looking at the ebbs and the flows of what our data is showing us, because that is really where the important piece of kind of knowing where our students' needs are.
One of those data points is the CDC's Youth Risk Behavior Survey, where students respond to a range of health-related questions, including mental health. Over 1,400 middle school students and 2,200 high school students responded to the 2021 survey. 22% of middle schoolers and 31% of high schoolers say their mental health was most of the time or always not good. 43% of middle school students and 53% of those in high school say their parent or other adult in their home lost their job during the pandemic. The damage left by recent typhoons stresses the issue. Walter Mendez works with schools on Saipan for the project.
The schools are seeing, like Hopwood for example, they're seeing lots of concerns with students who live in similar homes. Their homes are still like half broken, half repaired, or not repaired at all. And so we're still living with that fact. And the truth is that these kids are coming to schools with that kind of stress happening. They're reminded by the stress that they see when they look at the school buildings, and stuff like that affects their ability to learn, their ability to cope with the things that are happening in their daily lives.
That's where the school's multi-tiered systems of support comes in. Recently, the public school system reached national standards of having one counselor per 250 students on campus. At Tier 1, they focus on outreach and creating a safe environment for all students. Tier 2 is targeted, where staff identifies students at risk and places them in group counseling or with a therapist. Tier 3 is intensive, where support is provided to the students' needs and referred to community mental health partners. Another tool the project uses is a new universal screener, which students take at the start of every school year, which also includes questions related to mental health. They've used it for 3 years now.
We saw that in year 1, parents were asking for things like support with a laptop or technology things. And that just really isn't the essence of what that tool is meant for. Whereas now, they're talking the language of mental health. They're saying words like, my child is maybe depressed. My child is dealing with anxiety. My child is anxious about going back to school.
That screener has led to hundreds of check-ins by mental health staff during the school year.
It's just nice to see how we're changing how we look at how do we ask for help, because culturally that's not something that we are used to doing. We have close-knit network and we don't really extend further out.
Tomas Manglona, KUAM News, Saipan.
Well, September is Suicide Prevention and Recovery Month, and recent data shows Indiana State leads the country in 988 answered crisis hotline calls.
The call volume is high because more people are in need of support, and for many, it's the first time talking to a professional. And it makes a difference if that voice on the other line is someone from your community.
The call volume is high because more people are in need of support, and for many, it's the first time talking to a professional. And it makes a difference if that voice on the other line is someone from your community.
Sometimes you don't want to talk to someone you know, and 988 offers that
confidential, and privacy.
They're the words some people need to hear, and Kara Byros' team is standing by ready to help. She says there are 5 call centers spread throughout the state.
That gets them access to a trained crisis specialist to support them with any sort of mental health distress, substance use crises.
Mental health experts say the switch from a 1-800 number to 3 digits is working. According to officials, the 5 call centers have answered an average of 32 to 3,800 calls per month from Hoosiers experiencing crisis. The in-state answer rate is more than 90% since November, meaning Hoosiers calling 988 will speak to a counselor in Indiana 90% of the time. Byro says the need for support continues to grow after the pandemic. She says the goal is to expand services to people with disabilities and language barriers.
One is to ensure accessibility through chat and text being answered in the state of Indiana. We're working closely with our national partners to ensure that in the near future.
Indianapolis call centers are funded by the state. Officials are looking for more funding sources to help them expand. In downtown Indianapolis, Levi Harvey, CBS 4 News.
And here at home, the Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center is busy, especially during the month of September, with a slew of activities and outreach events as part of suicide prevention and recovery awareness. Director Teresa Ariola.
Suicide prevention is very dear to us. We have a huge program, and also Recovery Month, because substance use or substance abuse is something we deal with every day in trying to get our residents, our brothers and sisters, our family members onto the right path to becoming contributing, responsible citizens of our island.
Ariola reminds island residents that their 24-hour crisis lifeline is available, manned with trained lifeline specialists ready to listen and help. You can call, text, or chat.
988 is a conduit to services. If you find yourself that you are somebody who's struggling with addiction, whether it's alcohol or any type of drug, and you need help, call 988, stop by our front door. We're open 24/7. We'll get you that assessment, and we'll find you the right treatment. You know, some folks might be just educational level, some folks might be outpatient services, and some folks may need residential. But whatever it is, we have partners. Guam Behavioral Health is here. We have partners in the community that help us deliver those services, and we're just here to help.
Now, just so you know, on Thursday, there's going to be an open house at the Lighthouse Recovery Center from 11 to 2 p.m. And on Saturday at the Agana Shopping Center downtown, there's going to be a community outreach event in the center court from 10 to 2 with Jibwick and many of its supporting partners.
Well, the CNMI Judiciary will be holding night sessions on the first Tuesday of every month from 5 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. at the local courthouse on Saipan. It's an effort to help those working during regular business hours. The court's night sessions are limited to child support in family court cases, which is led by Judge Teresa Kim Tenorio. The judiciary said, quote, some parties are unable to attend court proceedings due to inflexible work hours and at times struggle to make payments because employers decrease their pay due to time spent in court.
The court hopes that the new schedule ensures access to justice, with the presiding judge saying if the program is successful, they may include other cases in night sessions. Well, the Guam Economic Development Authority is hosting a virtual export conference tomorrow starting at 8 and going for about 5 hours. It is a free event which seeks to help small business owners as well as entrepreneurs by giving them the tools and resources necessary to take their products to the next level globally.
Mitsuki Hirayama gets a sneak peek of what participants can look forward to.
Small businesses and entrepreneurs looking to take a leap beyond Guam are often faced with roadblocks like shipping and financing.
One, shipping costs and the different options available to them as they look to export to international markets. The second is obviously financing, right? So how do we get them to grow? How do we get them to build their capacity in order to meet the consumer demand of their products?
Guam Economic Development Authority Small Business Division Manager Melvin Tabila says it's a roadblock GIDA's resources can help with. It's why GIDA is hosting a free virtual export conference, providing the necessary markets.
We have several videos. We have a resources video of several entities and agencies that support small businesses. We have another video on highlighting several of our Guam Product Seal permit holders. We have another video on some of our Guam STEP, so that's the Guam State Trade Expansion Program participants.
He adds the event will feature public and private sector representatives and experts, providing an opportunity to make connections.
Folks will be able to hear from the U.S. Commercial Services and Gold Key Services, which is a part of the U.S. Department of Commerce, as well as the Western United States Agricultural Trade Association, the Hawaii Pacific Export Council, which covers Guam and the other U.S. territories, and Guam SBDC, the USDA, and again, GUMA. I'm actually also bringing in a company from Hawaii and CNMI to talk about their experiences in their areas and to see if there's ways that we can learn from them.
Tabilas encourages those wanting to learn more about exporting to register and get inspired.
We encourage you to participate in this conference and really learn more and really grow your company and learn from others. We're not sugarcoating anything in this conference. We want to talk about the challenges and how they've approach these challenges to go beyond what they're currently doing and reach international markets.
The virtual conference will be held through Zoom Thursday from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. You can find the registration link online at KUAM.com. Matsuki Hariyama, KUAM News.
Let's now take a look at your world at home. In this case, your world being up in Saipan. So here is a view from Calavera Cave in the 670.
There it is. My dad went EV.
It's electric. Don't be shocked.
The guy who's eternally locked out of his email is going EV. Ooh, nice car.
Actually, it's an EV. Rhymes with Kev. Look, EVIP parking.
I get it. You think they don't charge fast enough or go far enough.
Up to 80% charge in 18 minutes. Range? Heck, we could go to Mexico.
Are you Kevin Bacon?
But EVs aren't going to stop being a thing. Look at the Ioniq 6.
Maca mushroom frap for Kevin.
So just make the leap already.
Okay, watch this. Blue or red? Blue light, red light. I can also make it play nature sounds if you want.
Let's just drive.
Introducing the all-electric Hyundai Ioniq 6 with up to 360-mile range. When it comes to EVs, we're thinking of every mile.
Hafaday Guahan families interested in learning the basics of hunter safety and getting your national certification in hunter education, the Department of Agriculture's Hunter Education Program is hosting ongoing in-person classes open to Guam residents ages 13 and older. You'll learn hunter ethics and responsibility, wildlife conservation, basics of firearm and shooting skills, hunting equipment and techniques, survival skills, outdoor field skills, and more. The class meets the International Hunter Education Association national standards and does not expire. Attendees must pre-register in advance by emailing robert.alexander@doag.guam.gov. Student manuals must be completed before the class day. Classes are open on first-come, first-served basis. Students under 18 must be accompanied by a parent or legal guardian, and if you can't attend our in-person classes, don't worry. You may also register for the online Hunter Education Certification course by emailing robert.alexander@doag.guam.gov. Safe hunting begins with Hunter Education.
New chicken nuggets from KFC? Everybody's gonna want these. Let's eat these inside.
Try new Kentucky Fried Chicken Nuggets. You've never had nuggets like these.
if we protect our natural heritage, there will always be memorable moments in the wild kingdom.
I had no idea it was going to be this beautiful.
All right, back to the ocean where you belong. I hope you come back here and lay lots of eggs.
There we go.
I love that song.
I know, really, really cool. Big night in sports tonight.
Our
friends at Clutch really went all out. Here is youth football.
Yep, here's the final score.
I'll never take it for granted now, you know, especially nearing the end of my playing career. So it's big, bro. It's big for me, it's big for Guam, it's big for a lot of these guys, you know what I mean? So especially the young ones coming up, they get to get that experience. And like I said, these should be 3 good games. 2, I think, are gonna be really tough, just judging off the competition, but it's big, real big. I think they're gonna see guys come out trying to get in the groove, but definitely gonna play hard. You can see some real talented starting 5 with this Guam team, man. So I think Galloway going to put on a little show.
Feeling good, man. Feeling confident. We got the whole squad here, man. So you know, like I said, we got game 1 tomorrow. Should handle business, man. So feeling good, man. Feeling confident. Like I said, we're ready to go, man. Ready to get game 1 over with. Oh man, it means a lot. Like I said, man, just representing family and the people in Guam, man. The whole island of Guam, man. Just trying to get to the next level, and once we get to that next level, should take care of business over there. My name's Darren Hechanova, number 22, point guard for Guam. Looking to take home the Dubs, bring it back to the island.
What's up, Guam? My name's Joe Blas, captain of the Guam basketball team, shooting guard.
Which is really nice. Helping coach the kids, it really helps me throughout the day. It's one of the things that I really look forward to at the end of the day. And then also being able to come and see my friends that I've made through the sport and to see other people who can help me. The thing I like most about coming to Heights is that it's not so much of a team, but more so of a family, because everybody here, we've built a connection to each other, and so we've all become close throughout the times that we've spent here.
All right, everybody. Typhoon Mawar is now a thing of the past as far as this calendar year, but the assistance that our people need still continues. And the Disaster Unemployment Assistance Program was set up. Our friends at the Department of Labor are here. We have Dave Della Sola and Janela Cabrera. Guys, thanks so much for joining me. Good to see you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
All right, so DUA was announced. Dave, I'd like to start with you. Several weeks ago, leading up to it, there were certain provisions. Can you get us up to speed on how many applicants the DUA program has received at this time?
So yes, we've just passed the 1 week mark.
at the Paseo on the official launch of DUA, 30 days. You have till October 4th at midnight to file. So yes, thank God it's running smoothly. Our system is working well. We're handling the crowds that have been coming down, and we're at about 1,500 applicants that have filed. So that's good. And we suspect that near the tail end of the program that more people will do the rush. And that's one of the messages, the key messages that I want to bring out today is that we have 15 people down there, and it takes 45 minutes to an hour and a half per person. So you can only see that we can only handle a handful. I don't want to have hundreds of people come at the last day or 3 or 4 that need to file and get assistance, and we're filled up. So as it stands today and for the next week, I think we have more than enough time that everybody that comes in is being seen. So now's the time to file. Please don't wait for the last several days of the program to get your assistance.
Okay, and Janella, what tends to be the most common question that would bubble up from would-be applicants about, either about the process or about eligibility or what have you?
I think most of the questions kind of center around the date, the time frame in which they were unemployed. I think people are still kind of confused as to what dates are covered. So because the typhoon, generally, I think we're all in agreement, struck around May 24th, but the disaster assistance period begins on May 28th. So there's a lot of people that lost employment between May 24 and May 28, and a lot of businesses actually resumed operations around May 28th. So there's that small window of ineligibility. So we've been getting a lot of questions. Oh, well, they learn or they find out that they may actually not be qualified or not eligible because their business or their employer returned to work or resumed operations on May 28th, and they're finding that those 4 days actually don't count for unemployment. So we've been getting a lot of questions about that, or phone calls because they need clarification. Maybe they tried to apply, or they called or went down to the center and were informed that this actually does not count. So they'll call our center and kind of get that second opinion, and so we have to kind of inform them that, yeah, actually, unfortunately, those dates don't count.
And of
maybe,
course,
maybe for, I'm sorry, Dave, please.
We also receive some of the FAS citizens that are coming in, and they're very disappointed that they're not covered. And to be honest with you, I'm very disappointed for them too, because this is an assistance program for those who are working, not for those who are unemployed. So these are all people that are working and they're contributing to this economy, and their businesses were shut down because of damages of the typhoon, and there's nothing we can do for those citizens at this time.
Nothing. Now, Dave, I know at one point way back when you were an undergrad, you were considering majoring in engineering, and I know you like process to flow smoothly. As exhaustive and as thorough as the application process is, what tends to be the one thing that would trip up, the success rate of an applicant, of people coming in and either they don't have a certain piece of information or they would fail to disclose something?
Yeah, it's first of all, the system is similar nationwide. So a lot of them aren't familiar with the type of questions and how they're asked, because they're asked in an unemployment system format. And that's what happened with KUA, is that when they say, were you unemployed, and they're working now, that doesn't mean you're unemployed now, meaning you were unemployed back when because of this storm.
Mickey D's McCrispy. Formerly known as the Crispy Chicken Sandwich, now has some respect on his name. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Real talk. The Spicy Crispy Chicken Sandwich should have been named Spicy McCrispy from jump. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
While you've been waiting to see if EVs are a thing, my dad went electric.
Up to 360 miles on a single charge.
And if my dad's on board, yours could be next.
You know I'm doing this for the next generation.
Dad, we are not having the grandkids conversation again.
No, I'm just saying EVs are good for any generation. Or all generations.